Clearly, making sales is pretty important when it comes to running a business. And in this video, I'm going to share the 4 key things that are critical for sales success. And I think you're going to enjoy number 4, where we dive into a bit of the secret sauce. I'm Jamie Cunningham. Let's dive into it. Now, the good thing about the 4 steps, the 4 key ingredients for sales success, is they're not complicated. In fact, they are quite simple. That doesn't mean that they're easy. However, it does mean that we can understand them, and when we can understand something, we can dissect it a little more and try and understand where we might be lacking or where the opportunity lies to become better than we currently are. So with that, let's dive into it. So number 1 is, again, very simple, is being clear on the goal. Know what it is that you're trying to achieve. Now, why is that important? Well, if you don't know what you're after, then how do you know how much activity you need to do? How do you know the best way to go about it? How do you know when you're there? How do you know anything if you don't know what you're trying to achieve, if you don't know what the end point is? So we've got to define it. And that means writing it down. Pen to paper, write it down. By doing that enables us to do step 2, which is to create a plan. So once we know what we're after, we can then have an understanding of, well, what's it going to take to get there? The goal defines the magnitude, like how big is it, how many sales do we need to make? So the plan is, how are we going to do that? What are the steps? What are the channels? Are we going to do direct sales, knocking on doors, picking up the phone? Are we going to do an email campaign? Is it going to be a social media campaign? Is it going to be a joint venture partnership, strategic partners? What does it look like? And with that becomes the level of magnitude in terms of activity. So if you were going to be doing, say, phone sales, for instance, you need to know how many phone calls you're going to make. And you need to know who you're going to call. All these little details have to be flushed out. It is not enough to say, I need to make more sales and I'm going to make some phone calls. That is not going to cut it. So when we plan, it's writing down the exact detail of what we're going to do. Not to say that your plan is necessarily going to work out. In fact, you can almost guarantee nothing's going to go according to plan. But what the plan does is helps you to get clear on how much activity you have to do and how you're going to do it and what the obstacles might be along the way. It enables you to understand, how do I need to allocate my time? How long is this going to take? Right? We usually underestimate all of those things when we think conceptually about an idea. Putting pen to paper, writing down the details really gets us to force through the reality of what it's going to take. If you'd like a methodology for doing that, we've got a planning tool, which is a free tool. It's a 90-day planning tool. You can download it below, and that might help guide you on how to do this. So once we know the goal, we've got a plan on how we're going to do it. What's step 3? Step 3 is taking action, getting off the seat, getting out from under your desk and going and doing something. Or maybe it is at your desk if you're doing emails or something. But you've got to take the action. And there can be, this is not necessarily, again, a complicated thing, yet it brings a lot of us unstuck. So it might be a case where you've got to look and say, do I need to organise my time better? Do I need some accountability? Do I need to go back and be a little clear on the plan? Because when I sit down and go to do something, I'm not really sure what I should do, right? Hopefully the plan gives you that level of clarity. Am I procrastinating because there's something going on up here, a level of fear that around taking some of those actions? There can be, it's a big topic to think about, the things that stop people from taking the action, which leads us to step number 4. And step number 4, which is really where the gold lies, and it's probably step number 1, is the mindset. How do we need to think as a salesperson or a marketer to be able to go out there and take the action, and not only take the action, but to get the results from the action? So I'm going to give you 4 components around mindset and how you need to think. 4 within step 4. The first one, and this really is the pinnacle, is confidence. Now, confidence is confidence in you and your abilities. It's confidence in your product or service, that it's going to create value and solve problems for other people. And it's confidence in your company, that your company's going to be able to stand behind the offerings and promises that you're making. Of those, I mean, they're all important, but confidence in yourself would be the lead domino there. And that might be your knowledge around what it is you're doing. It might be your skill sets as a salesperson. It might be confidence in your ethical grounding, whatever it might be. But if you have a feeling within you that you are genuinely helping other people and you know how to do that, then there's an energy that you carry that's magnetic. See, the truth is that a lot of the time that people buy, what they're partly buying is your confidence that their purchase is going to help them. If you don't have that confidence, then that's going to form a natural barrier to any sales situation. So sales is often the transference of that confidence. So you've got to have that within yourself to be able to transfer it. If you don't have that confidence, that might be a starting point to come back and look at what do I need to change about me? Is it my knowledge? Is it my skills? Is it, belief in what I'm doing? Those things are really critical. So number one is confidence. Number two, which I said already, alluded to, is a natural and genuine care and curiosity to want to help other people. So when you have that, you will then, backed by the confidence, you will ask great questions that will probe to the deep heart of someone's issues and challenges that will lead to uncovering the need for them to buy, possibly lead to them or you uncovering the need for them to buy your product and service. Depending on what you're selling depends to the degree you're going to need to ask questions, but great questions are the key tool behind great salespeople. And to be able to ask great questions, you've got to be genuinely curious, and you genuinely got to want to help people and care that you can help people. And when, again, you carry that mixed with your confidence, that's a magical combination. Number three around the mindset is you've got to have an abundance mindset around money. If you have any scarcity feelings around money, you think there's a lack of money and you feel that people have a lack of money, it's probably because you have a lack of money and you're probably going to project that onto other people, and that's going to sabotage your sales efforts. What is critical is that you deeply believe that the money you're charging for your product or service is a very fair exchange in value, and that person is going to be better off with your product and service than with the money they're going to exchange for it. And one way that you can help believe that is to believe there is an abundance of money. Money is not scarce in our planet. Sometimes it can be hard for us to get the money that we want, but that's our own challenge. That's not because there's a lack of money, it's because we don't know how to go and get the money. Right? So it's going to be a tricky one to dive into, but you've got to be really clear on this one. And it's probably something to continue to work on. Number four is a bit of a funny one, and is having a mindset of acceptance. As salespeople, we're told that we've got to be very driven, and we've got to go after that sale, and we've got to be persistent, and we've got to be tenacious, and we've got to do whatever it takes to make that sale happen, which is great. I'm an advocate for all those things. When they're mixed with an acceptance that we don't have to make this sale, right? If we have a level of tenacity about every situation we go into, that can either have an air of desperation or an air of pushiness, and that can be an unattractive quality in a salesperson. The flip side of that is that we don't want to be pushy and we hold right back. Hopefully the confidence and the curiosity that leads to questions will mitigate some of that. But we've got to have this acceptance that, as long as we're going out there and we're helping or talking to enough people or providing out the offer to help people, and we're doing it in a skillful way with care and curiosity, and we do it enough, the right things will come our way. We don't have to make every sale. Likewise, we know that we're going to meet some great people. We're going to meet some amazing people that we get to help and make their lives better. We're also going to meet some people who might be complete arseholes. Either way is okay. It's just the way it is. We're not going to get hell-bent that it has to be a certain way, that people have to say yes, that people have to be nice. There's no rules around that. Just accept what is. All you can control is your own state of mind and the actions you take. Right? You can control your product and your service and how good that is and how good you are at delivering it. You can control those things, and if you focus on that and just allow everything else that's out there to be what it is, just accept it, then you'll have a calmness about you mixed with that confidence and the care and curiosity right, backed by your abundance of money thinking, that is a magical combination, right? I will guarantee if you can hold that state and have that mindset and take the right amount of the right actions, you will absolutely achieve your sales goals. Now, in saying all that, like, that's a pretty unique combination of things to have, and I really believe that's a lifetime of work to get there. So if you're not there now, don't feel bad about that at all. Like, that's a natural thing. But know your plan on how you're going to work on it, and work on it one step at a time, right? If you improve by 1% every day, that compounds. But it takes work, right? Don't just sit there in your business and say, I've got to make more sales, so you pick up the phone and start ringing without doing some of that other work behind, right? If you work harder on your mindset and your ability, mixed with taking the right actions and the right levels of action, success will come, absolutely. Just be willing to play the long game. I hope that helps you. Remember the planning tool down below. That's free, just grab that one. And look, subscribe down there to get more of these videos. And really thank you for watching. It's an investment of your time, I understand, and I hope it's been valuable for you. Subscribe, and we'll see you on the next video.